Hi everyone. I'm going to go over quickly just how to get your week 3 assignment newsletter part 1 started. This will be a short video of just how to set your parameters based on your specifications listed here in the prompted area. So basically what you're going to be doing is creating a newsletter, 8.5 by 11, with all of these specs. My suggestion would be, so that you're not flipping back and forth all the time, is to just take a quick screen capture. And how you would do that on a Mac is hold down Command-Shift-4, and you'll see these little crossbars, and I'm just going to go ahead and click and drag over what I want to be screenshotted here. So go right all the way down to, well, you could do this whole thing, but I'm only going to cover a few specifications here. So I'm going to go probably to here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up InDesign and I'm going to go File, New, Document. And the specifications call for 8.5 by 11. You could have this in units in inches. If it's not in inches, go ahead and click down here and choose that. We want to do 4 pages. And we want to check facing pages because we want a front cover and a back cover. So it'll kind of show you it in printed in a printed view of how a printer would actually, create this. You're going to start with page number 1. And you could probably start with your margins here. This is something that if you skip now, you can always put in later. But your margins are basically what were set in the prompt. So your margins will be 0.5 inches on top, left and right, and then 0.75 on the bottom. So the only thing we need to change really is the bottom. We're going to go ahead and just click right in here and type in 0.75. As long as this little link is not checked and held together, it will definitely allow you to change just the bottom and not the rest. The bleed and slug can be handled here. We're going to check this, make sure that's checked, and we're just going to give it about 1/4 of an inch bleed. And we're going to say create. Now, if I zoom out, you'll see all the 4 pages that you just set up here. And that when I zoom in, you can see that the margin on the bottom is significantly larger than on the left, right, and top. There's a reason for that. You will be adding page numbers with a folio, so that allows for more space there. Okay, so now you're not going back and forth like I just showed you. I'm going to go ahead and do a rectangle frame tool. I'm just going to drag out a big box. I'm going to do a file place, and I'm going to find on the desktop that little screenshot of the specs just to make sure that we're all on the same page here and I don't have to keep going back and forth. Okay, so I can kind of pull this over here and check in with that to make sure I have all my specs correct. So I basically have all of these except for my columns. I did not set that yet. I did not set my gutter between columns. I do have 4 pages. So let's go ahead and set our columns. And that's very easy. You could do that pretty easy. Just go up to Layout on the menu bar and choose Margins and Columns. And voila, there's columns. So what you want to do is just increase this to 3 and you'll see your columns will appear as these purple lines, which won't print. They're just for you to align your text boxes and your images so that you are doing it perfectly if you're zooming in and aligning that. So 3 columns, and then the gutter width, which is the space in between, is 0.25. So let's go ahead and check that. Margins and columns under layout. And the gutter here should be 0.25, sorry. Click OK. That gets them a little bit bigger than what they were. Okay. All right. Now, if that probably only applied it to page 1 because you can see over here my pages, it only selected page 1. So if I go to page 2, my double page spread, it's actually not selected and not applied to that. So how you would do that is if you wanted to apply all those settings, you're going to hold down the shift key and select it in your page panel. You're going to go back up to margins and columns, and you're going to go ahead and change this again. So if you just want to do it one time, that's what you would do, 0.1, 0.25 right here for the gutter, okay? All right. Okay, so the next thing is your folio, your baseline grid, and then your style sheets for headers. I'm going to show you how to set up your baseline grid, your folio, and your style sheets in the next video here. I just wanted to get you guys started with just kind of prepping your pages for your specs before that.